It's possible that a change in government would mean that the tax wouldn't go ahead. We think that we want to be ready in case there isn't a change, but also even if there isn't a change in government, we think it's worthwhile to try and set a precedent that clearly defines where environment falls on the division of powers between federal and provincial governments.
I might add to that. Sure. The people of Alberta elected us on a mandate to repeal the carbon tax and to take every measure possible to fight for the future of Alberta and to fight for jobs in our province. We're making sure that we support other provinces' constitutional challenges to the carbon tax. We've launched our own as well. We're moving in an expedited manner in Alberta to hopefully get this heard this fall as well, to make sure that we can have our voice heard and get our evidence before the courts as well. This is mission critical. It's for the future of our province, and we're not going to allow the federal Trudeau Liberals to impose on provincial jurisdiction.
Can you give us any insight of what was discussed this morning? I know you guys were talking legal strategy, but what in specifics?
We talked about how the arguments were there. The arguments initially when we went to Saskatchewan Court of Appeal are the same ones, that this tax can't be imposed at different levels across Canada. We also talked about what the nature of the tax or what the legislation was. And the constitutional term is what the pith and substance of the legislation is, what the purpose of it was, how it fits in peace, order, and good government, and the need for a national paramountcy and where that would fit and where it doesn't fit. And sometimes you would think that something should be of national, but that's not the way the legislation works. And where it says the provinces have a paramount right, in those cases provinces can and will work together as they have on a number of other things in the past, such as national regulators, securities regulators, and that type of thing.
I understand the other provinces are interveners for Saskatchewan. Can you explain a little bit about what that means and what you guys are going to be doing to help Saskatchewan in this battle?
Sure.
Yeah, I'm happy to say that we're intervening so that we can have our voice heard in the Saskatchewan piece. We have very strong feelings in terms of the role of the provinces, and we want to make sure that that voice is heard on behalf of Ontario. So we're stepping in to give it our unique voice.
And the province of New Brunswick as well, we have intervened in both Ontario and Saskatchewan, and we'll be watching very closely what happens in Alberta, and feel that it's of great importance to join in to show the united front that we have, because we do represent the significant, when you consider the amount of provinces that are now involved, we do represent the majority of Canadians in that regard.
And from an Alberta perspective, we've been in the greenhouse gas emissions regulation process for decades. We're in the process this week of filing our court materials, affidavit evidence, as well as our argument with respect to making sure that the court knows the history of our province. We are responsible in the development of our oil and gas resources. We're a world leader in developing our oil and gas resources. This is a situation where the province has filled the space responsibly. We don't need Ottawa and the Trudeau Liberals coming in and telling us how to do this. We do it well. We're the best in the world at doing it. And we're going to make sure that the world knows that in this court case as well.
The federal government has argued in the past court cases that if it is of national concern, they can intervene. What is your argument against that?
The issue is, it's right for them to put their argument, their position forward. Because something is important doesn't necessarily mean it's a federal issue. It is a significant issue. We acknowledge that. Greenhouse gases are something that must and need to be dealt with, but have to be dealt with at a provincial level in collaboration and conjunction with other provinces and with the federal government. But it is wrong for the federal government to impose its backstop and say, well, we think because you've done this level it's acceptable, but therefore it's not acceptable to do it at another level. We'll certainly work with other provinces, work with the federal government to try and get something that works for all Canadians and works for the world.